are famous for the wrong reasons, or we think we know what they say and we've never really read them. And the first two certainly come into that category. The first is probably the most widely misrepresented philosophy in the history of thought, really. And I'm not really going to introduce this anymore, apart from saying, this is what Karl Marx really says. This is my 3-minute summary of chapter 15 of Das Kapital, his masterwork. It also boasts the first time, the very first time, the coupling industrial and revolution happen in the same phrase. But you'll notice he does it the other way around. Have you not noticed there is something really weird in this, what do we call it? This revolution in industry of ours. Think for a second what we do. We call down the storm wind, we plunder the hidden fires in the earth, we break open atoms, we plug them into a mighty machine that transfigures human production, turning it into a force of nature. But why? Make 57 varieties of ice cream, new hat, new pair of shoes. We've taken then the wild powers of the world and turned them into the slave of idle whim and fancy. And in doing so, we've made our desire a mighty peer of nature and given it the right to punch and punch and punch where and when it will. Worse, we've laid upon lust the duty to pull out endless new desires, new thoughts, new cravings. Depend upon it, future generations will rave and crave about things we could not dream about, things we would not care for. And how are we going to contain what we have done? How can we barely comprehend it in a mind that is going to remain Paleolithic? An authority structure that is Neolithic, a property structure that is Bronze Age. But oh my, if we cannot, what blood are we going to spill? Both ours and in this world of ours. And what scarcity are we going to create? Right in the heart of plenty, to be the bitter, beating, poisonous heart of this capitalist utopia of ours. And how are we really going to understand what we have done? How can we? Better then, how are we going to understand our very failure to understand it? Oh, what little lies are we going to tell ourselves about what we have done? Each like a sword of Oedipus, to poke out our eyes, to blind us from the all too hideous truth that we have taken desire and made it into a Greek god, to be as capricious as a god, to bleed this world dry, turning it at last into a living husk. Oh my comrades! What revolution of the human spirit could ever really save us from so dark a future? So that's chapter 15. If ever you have a dull moment, I recommend chapter 15 of Das Kapital. It's a hoot. It has all kinds of wonderful things, like it has Bill Sykes as a walk-on part, it has talking tables, and it's carried on with an argument with a political philosopher of his day, that if you do the accent right, and I can't, otherwise I would sound just like George Osborne. It really is very, very funny.